I know what this is. This is a flatbed UV printer.
Wow, that's cool. I mean, it's just flying through this machine.
They just bought a $6 million press at the last Printing United Expo. It took months to get it dialed in and installed. Can you imagine bringing this equipment and setting it up for 3 days of show? Again, a little bit of everything. It just keeps going, Colin. Hey guys, we're here at the Printing United Expo in Las Vegas, Nevada. If you've never been to this event, you don't know what you're missing. It is by far the largest trade show in North America when it comes to apparel, signage, and offset printing. What we've seen over the years is there's now fewer and fewer essentially paper printing companies here because, hey, think about it. How much paper mail are you getting and things like that? A lot of things are going digital. That doesn't mean that print is dead, but apparel is becoming a much bigger focus of this show. But in this video, we're going to go and walk through, again, the offset printing, think paper printing, and all things signage. There's some really big equipment in this room. Colin, it's just, it makes M&R's booth, when they're setting up their screen printing, look simple compared to what we see at this expo. For 3 days, they're bringing millions of dollars worth of equipment. And again, we had a lot of fun last year. You just check out this automation, just to move media from one to another. It's all about automation when it comes to apparel, signage, offset, doesn't matter. How can we make things more automated? For several reasons. One of those reasons is, ever since COVID, it's become harder and harder to find that skilled labor. And once you have them, how do you keep them? I mean, it's just all changed since COVID. And when you go digital and you go automation and you're using, robots, when you can, you're going to make things easier. And if that employee quit or you couldn't find somebody, it's just not as big of an issue.
So
the other
Zach,
thing about going digital.
This is Fujifilm. I'm a camera guy. When I think Fujifilm, I think cameras. That's not the case. They do much more than just cameras, obviously. I mean, what do we have here?
Oh gosh, Colin, you're going to make me completely lie. I'm thinking I'm seeing all digital with this Fujifilm. My father-in-law is actually a lithographer. He runs he's the production manager of a 150-person sign and offset printing company. And just like apparel, what he has seen is lithography is essentially screen printing for paper and other media. Well, it's not dead, but digital has become a big part of it. So they just bought a $6 million press at the last Printing United Expo. It took months to get it dialed in and installed. And, at a show like this, they're going to bring them for 3 days. So if you ever wonder, how do they print it? The Printing United Expo is unlike any other show. When it comes to apparel, most of us think of Long Beach Impressions. That is easily the best show for apparel, but Printing United has essentially doubled the apparel space each year since it became Printing United. Years ago, Printing United was SGIA. It was all, again, sign and offset. That's what this show was all about. Not that it's an issue, but again, the demand for these types of products has gone down over the years. More things are digital. We don't have to print everything. And that's why apparel has also seen a big growth. It's become a big part of the show. So yeah, Colin, we see a little bit of everything. I am so out of my element compared to apparel. I know what this is. This is a flatbed UV printer.
Would be there that I could upgrade into the range.
Very cool stuff. Yeah, and what's cool about this show is, you have both sides of it. You have this side and the apparel side. Obviously, we're much more in tune with the apparel side of things, but hey, you can come to this trade show and get the best of both worlds.
But we've gone to a lot of shops that we've toured that have equipment from this room.
Yeah,
and they want to be that one stop.
This
I mean, at this, you could start your own newspaper practically.
Yeah, this thing's moving, man.
Yeah, you think it's moving?
Now it stops right when we get to it.
Well, and what's interesting about this industry is you have a lot of post-press going on. So this is, a printer that is digitally, well, I don't even know if it was actually printing or if it was just running it just to then be cut. But there's a lot of different things that happen to the product after it's been printed. If it's signed, it could be grommeted, hemmed.
Right, here's
cut.
Mamaki. I mean, obviously, you're watching this video, you probably heard of Mamaki. They do quite a bit of different things. I mean, they're not just limited to a couple things.
Yeah, Colin, I just saw this sign said starting at $189,000.
189K.
189K. That's cheap compared to some of this stuff in the room. So again, you see a lot of flatbed printers. You see roll-to-roll. Mamaki's definitely known for eco-solvent and UV. But look at this thing. It's just massive. Now that, I'm going to take a wild guess, kind of looks like a sublimation because you can see how dull the ink is on there. That's classic sublimation the way it looks before it's actually been pressed. So, yeah, I mean, you got a little bit of everything in here. And what's also interesting, Colin, is we're starting to see apparel equipment in this section. We're starting to see this sign stuff in the apparel.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it's a lot of overlap. Right here, again, another sublimation printer. You can see it's printing out the panels so that they can then be cut and sewn into a finished garment. Check this out, Colin. If you ever wonder, how the heck do they print a box? Well, check this out. All these folding capabilities that can go on. It's all about automation. Can you print this and then fold it yourself? Yeah, you could. But if we can put a nice stack of it over here in the hopper and then it goes over there and gets folded by the end, that is some really cool automation.
Right, yeah, this is some really cool technology. It's something that your average person has no idea how it's done. So it's cool to see this up close.
Yeah, I can't imagine getting into this space. I am never going to put down, hey, don't buy equipment. But something to keep in mind, there's a lot of wholesale trade partners out there that will decorate at a really good price.
What do we have going on here?
Looks like it's unraveling. I have no idea. I don't know why you need them all cut, but there's probably a reason. But
yeah, guy, if you guys know what that is, drop a comment and let us know.
But yeah, you've got a lot of wholesale trade partners who have this equipment. They're here at the show. They're then going to print for you at such a good price that if you don't have the high demand, required to make one of these investments, or you don't have the staff to learn and do it yourself, hey, just outsource it. I mean, you should always outsource something.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with outsourcing.
Nothing. Your customer
You can make
does
a
not
whole
care.
career off of just outsourcing.
Yeah, I'm asked every day, if you could do it all over again, what would you do? Wouldn't buy a single piece of equipment. It's never been easier to outsource. It's all about being lean these days. And again, it's a lot harder to find the staff, retain them, and just, yeah. Hey, if you outsource something, they can't call off on you.
Right.
If the equipment breaks, it's not you having to stress about getting it fixed. I remember seeing this last year, these gigantic robotic arms.
Look at the size of that thing.
I mean, again, could you imagine bringing this equipment and setting it up for 3 days of show? But they do, because that's how good this show is. That's how many people are attending it to learn and really make purchases.
That's just crazy.
But my father-in-law, he actually helped me work on my screen printing equipment last week, and I was asking him, hey, in your industry and in your 150 person shop, you know, do you guys have difficulty keeping those employees and training them and so forth? Absolutely. And it's another reason to go digital, because when you go digital, whenever it makes sense, the learning curve for the operator is so much less. That's pretty cool, Colin. I don't know if I'd call it cutting or if it's I think we're thinking of milling. Because there's no, it's not a CO2 laser. It's got to be styrofoam.
That's cool.
Colin, when's the last time you saw Sharp logo? Talking about Fujifilm, Sharp.
Yeah, that's not common.
Again, you see engraving machines in here. There's a lot of overlap between apparel and signage and offset paper.
Yeah, Sharp is not a big household name anymore.
Not anymore. They were.
But hey, based off of the size of this booth, man, they're not hurting for money.
Well, it's kind of funny how many times you think, they don't make this product anymore. Well, they've essentially changed what they do. Colin, what are they doing here? Look, we're feeding it through. It's not finishing over here. I got to think it's doing like a trifold. No,
you see this
Colin, it's all the way over here. Look.
It's still going, guys.
And look, you want to know how they can do mass mailing and get a different name on every single one of them? How about this Fusion Speed Machine, which is almost 360?
Wow, that's cool. I mean, it's just flying through this machine.
And if you're doing this much volume, like at my father-in-law's shop, they actually have, they're like technically a USPS facility. You know, when you do such volume, you literally are like the post office practically. I mean, even over here, I see productivity software. So again, you have your DecoNetworks built for this industry. And again, you're going to need shop management if you're going to be running equipment like that and you want to keep everybody organized. This is such a large show. I mean, we can't view it all, Colin, but again, Printing United Expo, even if you're just an apparel decorator, it's fun to walk through this space, see how things are made. You know, it triggers your brain and makes you start thinking, you know, I wonder if we took our equipment, we just did that one little thing like they do to apparel, maybe it'll make my DTF life easier.
Right.
You know,
we're definitely going to focus these on, you know, the apparel side as far as the shop tour. So if you haven't seen those yet, please look those up because we're going to go pretty in depth with the apparel side. But
looks like we have ink cups. Ink cups, very well known for pad printing. I got guillotine cutters over here. So again, it's just going to come down, cut the paper for you. So again, a little bit of everything. It just keeps going, Colin. So again, guys, Printing United Expo next year will be in Orlando, Florida in October. Not a bad time to be in Orlando. I'm already planning my Disney World trip before the show. So really excited. Printing United Expo, easily the top 2 best shows for apparel. If you're looking to get the whole experience of all things printing, there's not a better show. And in 3 days, you couldn't probably see every booth you want to. It's just that big. So guys, check out Printing United Expo and learn more about all things printing, whether it be apparel, sign, or offset.